Oh, what beautiful weather. It's great that spring is here and we can all get into our gardens because we love to make our gardens look really lovely at this time of year. And this is a fantastic garden, but there's a lot of work ahead. And I would like to talk about integrating what we do in our Pilates class into gardening so that we can prevent back episodes, and we want to keep our spines and our backs healthy and strong as well as our leg muscles. So the principles of posture are very important here. This garden unfortunately needs quite a bit of weeding, so what better tool than a hoe? We need to keep our spine in line. If you remember, when we had our poles behind, touching the back of our head, middle of our spine and our sacrum, that's the ideal, and just gently engaging through the core here, so we've got a really good posture to begin with, and keeping your core gently active and your spine in line is a really good pain-free way and a safe way of doing your gardening. Now, the hoe is a very useful tool, but we have all these weeds coming up fast and furious at this time of year. So grab your kneeling pad and come into a high knee position, as we sometimes do in Pilates, and think about using our oblique muscles to gently rotate and flex forward, but still keeping your back in a good position so that you're not becoming top heavy and rounded through the upper back. So be careful also never to overstretch or overreach. So I'm going to rotate, flex, gently engage my tummy a little bit and pick up my weeds, and hopefully safe way of gardening. Now, if you have issues with your knees and you don't want to be on your knees for very long, bring your leg into a sort of high knee hip flexor lunge, which we also practice in Pilates, and think about, again, just coming forward without being top heavy in your spine, without overreaching, and that is going to be very helpful. Now, unfortunately, this soil is a little bit compacted, so it needs quite a bit of digging. And sometimes if the soil is really hard, you want to maybe use a fork instead of a spade. But we practice our lunges in Pilates, and we practice keeping our legs and our glutes, our hamstrings and our quads nice and strong. So keep your leg muscles strong and keep your arm muscles strong as well. The other thing that you might find useful is sometimes we have to dig up old plants by the roots. So when we practice our rowing action in Pilates with a band, so we're actually bringing our arms forward, pulling in through our core and rowing up. You want to keep your shoulders stable, but you want to keep your arms nice and strong as well. So after you've been in the garden for a good hour, you may want to relax off by doing a few gentle Pilates stretches. So coming onto the mat, I'm just going to take my shoes off and coming into lying twists with your arms out to the side, and you can look up the beautiful blue sky with the sun shining down on you, and just gently allow your knees to roll to one side, turning your head in the opposite direction, exhaling as you turn, and you're really again working your oblique muscles as well. You can have your legs and your feet closer together. Diego wants to join in here. And then we can actually roll over onto our backs to strengthen our back by bringing our arms into extension, legs into extension. Think about your center core, working from there, and lengthening right arm, left leg, just lifting your chest a little bit from the mat. Don't allow the movement to go into your lower back. You want to exhale as you lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Then we're going to push up, and I'm going to come into a side lying position to again work your oblique muscles. Angle your legs forward, extend your lower arm, and then press your lower leg into the floor as you lift your top leg to hip height. Inhale, exhale. Now try to keep your back stable as you come into side kick. So you can keep your balance by keeping your fingertips down. Last but not least, you can come into your hands and knees, taking your hips back, opening up your knees into your rest pose or your shell stretch to stretch out your lower back. Coming onto the diagonal and stretching out one side, hip to heel, over to the other side, hip to heel. And I hope that's helped to give you some ideas for your gardening. Happy gardening, everyone.